Insurance is an important, fundamentally important concept. It's a private sector, or it could be government, but it's an organized response to uncertainty that affects individuals. Wage insurance is one form that has been experimented with by the U.S. government, in fact, in an effort to deal with the problem that globalization is taking jobs out of the country. But it hasn't been experimented with very much yet. I think that we could have a much more comprehensive system of wage insurance. And we can do it without moral hazard if we manage it right. The moral hazard is that people will stop improving themselves thinking that I can collect on the insurance rather than work hard. Wage insurance is actually not exactly the right name. I call it livelihood insurance. By using that name, we're not talking just about wage earners. We're talking about the earning potential that an individual has. It may or may not be wage income. It's also conveys to me the lifetime nature of the problem. People go through a life cycle. Early in the life cycle, they train themselves into some particular occupation. Later in life, they very rarely undertake retraining, and they rise and fall with that occupation. So what I thought would be the most important thing to do would be to develop measures of occupational risk and write insurance policies against risks to the occupation. And that eliminates moral hazard because the person can't do anything about the rise and fall of the occupation. So in order to make that happen, we have to develop a rather different kind of insurance industry. This is not done, it's never been done, and it requires better measurements of occupational incomes. We have to measure risks before we can insure them. And we need to, I think, develop historical indexes of occupational incomes that are done properly so that we have some sense of history in how these things evolve. And that will help us design insurance policies. But if you're trying to think of things we can do today, I think that that is one of the most important things because it establishes a moral principle. It establishes a guideline for what will be done. It's going to be much harder to deal with these problems if we wait until they happen and wait until a time when 70% of the population is out of a job. Then it might be very difficult to get a consensus on what to do about it. But this is really the insurance principle, because you want to insure a house against fire before it catches fire. After it catches fire, it's too late.